The best piece of advice I've ever received for running a fast growth company is continue to interview every single person that comes through those doors. If you want to maintain that culture, you should really still vet every single person that comes through that door.
By focusing on your people and their needs instead of on the bottom line, you actually achieve a better bottom line. So it's about taking care of your team and each other.
Spend the time in advance to formulate a great business plan and spend the time on research, and that usually means you're going to have to wait to get going and get running. I think too many people dive in immediately and don't spend enough time on the business plan, the business model.
You can't put your entire life on hold. Paradoxically, focusing more on the things that are not part of your company but that are part of your life, you actually have more time and energy to focus on the company itself.
Piece of advice I've received, if you're going to run a fast-growing company, is to get back into the learning mindset and really be in growth mode.
It is each person's responsibility to take action, but it's very important that all of our staff and team members take the time and the effort to learn about our partner products and services, and more importantly, be proactively thinking about how we can best serve our clients.
I think you have to find people who are forward thinking. You have to certainly allow people to make decisions, empower them to make decisions, and encourage them to set goals for themselves and manage their goals.
The hardest thing is going to be to get eyeballs. So it's getting people to come to the site, to hear about you. That's the hardest piece. And just knowing that's going to be your biggest challenge is, I think, already a huge step forward. And the second piece of advice that I got was every day just try to sell more tickets.
Believe it or not, the best piece of advice about running a fast-growing company is not to go that fast, because sometimes you could actually grow yourself out of business, or you could grow yourself past your capital reserves or your financing abilities. So while it's great to be fast, you have to be fast but smart.
So I think we're trying to keep that mindset, that it's okay to fail, and that when failures happen, let's think about how we react to them. And rather than trying to assign blame, figuring out how we can improve and not make those same mistakes on a go-forward basis.
The secret sauce to continue growing my company is innovation. We believe that innovation is the soul of the product. Continue evolve in the innovation, make the product better.
It's either in your DNA or not. I'm a natural-born entrepreneur. A lot of the staff that I've hired are as well. We're doers. We like to get stuff done. We like to be creative, nimble, fast. Those are things that entrepreneurs often like to do and like to gravitate towards. So I think it's all within the hiring.
I think that people are most responsive to really good stories and stories that they can relate with, and there are no shortage of stories of really serious failures that turned into really serious successes.
Failure is a part of life. Nobody's perfect, and people need that space to be able to fail and be able to try new things, because if you are afraid of failing, you will never innovate. And talk about it.
When we have challenges and failures, what I try to do is continue to focus the team on the fact that it's a long-term vision, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and the fact that we have challenges that allow us to learn from them.
What we do a little differently than everyone else is we actually give everyone the ability to have that entrepreneurial feel by consistently changing processes and looking to better the things that they do every day, and having a voice.
So we have certainly had setbacks as an organization, and we sit down and do a root cause analysis and typically prepare a game plan so that can never ever happen again. And sometimes that opens up other potential causes for failure that you can identify before they happen.
Best advice to run a fast-growing company is manage your people and the resource. You have limited resource. How you effectively manage your resource to achieve your goal is the key.
It's not often that we run into a situation that we can't find the answers immediately. It's a matter of time, but we absolutely commit to our clients that we will find those answers to those questions that they run into to run their business.
A lot of people think that as soon as you fail, that makes you a failure, and it's not. Actually, failure is the best way to learn, and failure usually means that you're not doing something right. So if you could recognize what in that failure caused the failure and not do it again, you actually come out stronger.
My expectation is that failure is actually going to happen. So knowing that, it's like you try something new with the expectation we're trying something new, but it may not work. So it's not demoralizing when it doesn't work.
In some ways, embracing your own ignorance is like freedom. It gives you the opportunity to go out and create and try new things. Steve Jobs was famous for saying, only the people who believe they can change the world are the ones who actually do.
So we're very transparent. We communicate in monthly town halls to the team, regular updates. I have an email box called Ask Noah where anyone can ask me a question and I can respond to them at any time. And I think that's the key, is just really keeping those lines of communication, that openness, that transparency open as you continue to grow.
I don't think we have a choice but to do that, to be on the cutting edge in our industry and to be the biggest and the best in our industry.
We compete against some of the largest companies in the world. So even though, we have more than 500 employees and we're approaching $1 billion in revenues, we still consider ourselves a bit of a small company. And the three founders still work together side by side and are enjoying it every bit as much today as we did in the beginning.
So one of the ways I think we remain nimble is we do employ kind of a very agile development process. So as our priorities and needs change as a business, we can adapt our product roadmap to kind of counter that. We also have a lot of small development teams. So even though the overall size of the company is much larger, the size of a team working on any given initiative remains pretty small.
Over time, as we get bigger, we formed executive committees and operating committees that make sure that the management stays in sync. And 3 times a year, we all get together, a large group, about 100 folks, to sharpen our axe, to improve our service or our growth skills or our leadership skills through large-scale forums.
We get our senior leaders together actually several times a year, whether it's at our sales conference or other events. We'll all be getting together and talking about our goals and how we're going to achieve them in 2017.